gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Janquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Police say a Dallas nightclub security guard shot and killed the woman over the weekend. Jayland Anderson was shot at about 5 a.m. Saturday outside XTC Cabaret near Simmons Freeway and Regal Road. Now, the club's management says video shows a woman driving a car into a group of security guards in the parking lot.
Wow. These women can't drive. We all know that, but you can't say that. That's misogynistic. And unfortunately, it cost her life. How many videos have we done on these chicks drunk driving, which this could possibly be, or maybe she was actually targeting them. But I mean, this is crazy.
One of them apparently shot the 32-year-old after being pinned between that car and another vehicle. We're told the guard underwent surgery for broken bones, but police say it's actually going to be up to a grand jury to decide whether anyone's going to face charges in this shooting.
Investigating after security guard shot and killed a woman at the adult club XTC Cabaret. The club owner released this video saying 32-year-old Jayland Anderson drove her car into a group of security guards early Saturday morning.
Wow. What are you doing, Jayland? I mean, she literally, it looked like she was aiming for security. Now, she might have turned off a little bit, but I think that she probably only turned because he shot her. So what beef did she have with these security guards?
Morning. They say a guard was pinned between the car and another vehicle and shot the driver before anyone else was hurt. Anderson's mother says she is heartbroken.
For my grandbaby to come up to me and ask me, Granny, is my mom in the sky? That took a lot out of me. And I want justice for my baby, please.
I mean, what about accountability for your baby? What was she doing driving straight at a crowd full of cops?
Community wants this crowd to be closed down.
Well, family and friends protested at the site. There have been several shootings at XTC. This happened during hours that the Dallas City Council voted to shut down such clubs back in January, but a federal judge ordered a temporary ban on those restrictions.
DPD also continued to investigate a deadly shooting outside a nightclub. Police responding to a shooting outside the Ecstasy Cabaret. This is on North Simmons Freeway. The shooting happening about 5 a.m. yesterday. Now, police say their investigation found 26-year-old female security officer there was responsible for shooting 32-year-old Jayland Anderson. Another security guard also firing their weapon as well, according to police. Now, Anderson died. A Dallas County grand jury will review the case. Now, in a statement from the Ecstasy Club, they say a female security guard was run over by a woman who drove her vehicle into a group of security guards while motioning to that driver that she was going the wrong way through the club's parking lot. They say that guard has a number of broken bones from that incident and is going through surgery today. That, according again to the business there.
So, I mean, these women are out of control, man. We got countless videos of sisters shooting up, you know, all types of events. hitting cops. Remember that story that we did? The girl who was tweeting about hitting the cops. I mean, it's ridiculous, bro.
And is going through surgery today, that according again to the business there. More than a day after a woman was shot in a parking lot of a Dallas business, she was shot and killed. Her family wants to see that business close. Family members just talking.
So they trying to shut down the strip club because the family member got shot because she was acting a fool. I mean, she literally tried to ram the police officers and hit too.
Tonight to our Alexis Wainwright. Alexis is live now near that scene. This is near North Stemmons Freeway with more on all of this. Alexis.
Well, Steve, I can tell you within the last few minutes, more people showing up here. This is the second night of protest outside of this business, and friends and family of Shalonda Lofton Anderson say they just want to bring more awareness to what happened Saturday morning.
I'm telling you guys, the only reason that they're protesting this is because she was shot by a glider security guard. How many? I mean, they said it in the later clip. There have been so many shootings at this strip club between the super gremlins, but now they're protesting. Now they're protesting. These super single mother gremlins are on demon time.
This group is calling for something to be done after Dallas police say a security guard at Ecstasy Cabaret shot and killed Shalonda Lofton Anderson just after 5 a.m. Saturday.
My message for this is not fair. No part of this was fair. No part of this makes sense. Who was left behind was Shalonda Anderson, and her 3 kids was left behind. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it's not fair that she tried to ram her vehicle into a group of security guards. There is no accountability in the community. We need to start saying, hey, I get that she was shot and killed, but what was she doing? Was she drunk? And if she was drunk, then she kind of wrote her own fate there.
She was there for anybody. She probably don't even know you, but she would be there for you if you needed her. And she's the type of person that was just her.
You know it's problem. Some of her last moments were shown in this Facebook Live video posted by Anderson. Okay. Dallas detectives are investigating, but won't.
So she was about to get in a fight. Dude, this is wild.
Reveal what happened before the shooting took place. Meanwhile, a spokesperson for the cabaret released this surveillance video and in a statement said the shooting happened after guards were motioning to Anderson that she was driving the wrong way through the parking lot.
But it's the exit. She was coming this way toward this car.
The statement goes on to say,
what? Bruh. These dudes will justify anything without, I mean, clearly she's going the wrong way. The officers are telling her, hey, you're going the wrong way. I mean, I'm not finna trust a dude who literally, my man is sagging with his pants tucked in. Your word is null and void right now.
Happened after guards were motioning to.
Look at the way that the cars are parked too. Look at the way that their cars are parked, man. Like she's going the wrong way, bro.
Anderson that she was driving the wrong way through the parking lot.
But it's the exit. She was coming this way toward this car.
The statement goes on to say, reportedly fearing for her life, the security guard shot the driver as the guard was being hit and before the driver could seriously injure or kill others.
I see them trying to jump in the car to stop her, to keep her from going out.
But a witness and a friend questions that account.
That is not an exit. So if you look at my top left-hand corner, that's not an exit. She was not exiting. There's a curb right there. If you guys can see, this is a dead end. This is a dead end. So he's absolutely wrong. This is why you don't trust these dudes who are sagging with their Look, it looks like they maxing out security. They doing everything they can to keep people safe, especially since there have been multiple shootings, trying to keep the strippers safe, trying to keep the Johns safe, trying to keep the tricks safe, trying to keep everybody safe. And y'all just out here acting a fool. That's what's really going on. She had no business. If she was that drunk, she had no business driving, and it cost her her life. So y'all out here protesting, bro, it's not going to do anything.
Not acceptable. It's sending out the wrong message that you guys are going to open after this young lady was killed on y'all property.
Yeah, they should. They should keep a business as usual. Until the city shut them down, business as usual. That's how business goes. See, you can't complain. And then, like, when the strip club gets closed down, they'll be like, man, we don't even got no strip club out here no more. Like, bruh, you can't have it both ways.
And police say a second security guard also shot at that vehicle that Shalonda was inside of. Meanwhile, a grand jury referral will be filed with the Dallas County District Attorney. Meanwhile, friends and family here say they want that business to be closed. They plan to stay out here late tonight and be back out here again, and every day they feel necessary. Reporting live tonight in Dallas, Alexis Wainwright, CBS 11 News.
Okay, Alexis, thank you.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Quavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
That's my child that I birthed into this world.
Bonita Lofton barely getting the word.
Peep the lashes, y'all. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's like she's got a butterfly on her eyelids. Unnecessary, man.
Bonita Lofton barely getting the words out as she talked about her daughter, Shalonda Lofton Anderson, known as Lundy. The mother of three was shot and killed outside of Ecstasy Cabaret in Dallas early Saturday morning. The club owner released video saying that Lundy drove into a crowd of people. Police said she was...
And you gonna tell me that she did that on accident? No.
Saying that Lundy drove into a crowd of people. Police said she was killed by a security guard who hasn't been charged. Another security guard, Sterling Hammett, who police say shot into the vehicle, has been charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault.
What? Are you serious? So they charged the police officer for protecting himself from this rabid, super single mother gremlin on demon time.
But court documents we've obtained say, quote, Hammett fired his pistol without justification or defense of other persons.
I ain't no altercation with nobody.
Lundy's attorney says she and her 2 friends were at the bar ordering food when the bartender didn't give them her change back. Moments after the verbal exchange, someone threw water at the girls, and that's when security officers asked the 3 women to leave.
There you have it. You cannot, I mean, at first, you know, shout out to Ock Nation. He said you can't ask the Sunmen to leave. Okay, you can't really ask the super gremlins to leave the premises unless you're going to leave or the business is going to close down, you know. But now it's like you can't tell the sister gremlins either. Damn. Because she literally took her car, used it as a weapon to try and hit those officers, bruh. And now they're being charged. That is wild. And they over here acting like she did nothing wrong.
She simply walked along trying to find her car.
Lundy and her friends got into the car, and in the cell phone video released, you can hear the shots being fired. Lundy is clearly still alive during these moments. Moments later, even after security pulled her lifeless body on the grass, you can see a security officer put a gun to her head.
Oh, that. I mean, he put it to her head and pulled it back. She was wilding though. I mean, she tried to kill them. Play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes.
The rug has been pulled from under us.
The family wants the club shut down. City Council passed an ordinance earlier this year saying that sexually oriented businesses should shut down between the hours of 2 and 6 a.m. because police say that's when the most crimes happen. Right now, that ordinance.
I mean, if the time changes where they shut down, it's just gonna be the crime hours are just going to change to business hours or shortly thereafter or before. That's how this works. It's not, oh, change the time, change the crime. No, it's change the time, and all you're doing is changing the time of the crime.
Remains in limbo. Family and friends will continue to protest outside of the club until they get justice.
Just help as much as you possibly can.
In Dallas, I'm Malini Basu. At 32 years old, Shalonda Anderson did everything for her 3 young children.
She just wanted the best for her kids.
So she stripped. I mean, that's not the best, doing the best for your kids. I'm sorry.
That's all she talked about.
Shaking, crying, and at a loss for words.
I want the world to know this is unbearable.
Bonita Lofton says her daughter was killed by a security guard outside of the Ecstasy Cabaret Strip Club in Dallas around 5 o'clock Saturday morning. Bonita says Shalonda was there to have a good time that night.
She had a good heart. Everybody came to her house every day.
The club owner releasing this video saying Shalonda drove her car into a group of security guards. They claim that the security guard was pinned between the car and another vehicle, and the guard then shot the driver before anyone else was injured.
I mean, that's exactly what happened. The fact that they're trying to spin it and the family's trying to spin it, the family's trying to get a check, obviously. It shows they done hired the lawyer. We got to start doing things right in the community. That's all I'm going to say.
Dallas police say a 26-year-old female security guard shot the victim. Moments later, another security guard pulled out his gun, shot at the victim's car. Dallas police are investigating, and the district attorney's office as well. They're asking for any witnesses who are at the club to please come forward and help piece this together. Shalonda's family doesn't believe the story the strip club is putting out there.
I mean, you don't have to believe it. It's on camera. You don't have to believe it, baby. It's on camera. There it is. She filmed it on Facebook Live. She was getting the fighting. She was about to get the fighting. She got mad. It looked like she got upset that they kicked her out. She got in her vehicle, tried to delete these security guards or at least injure them, which she ended up doing. And she got, she got what she asked for. She got what she asked for. These super single mother gremlins are on demon time.
There, despite the club owner willing to pay for her funeral.
Enough is enough.
Shalonda.
Wow, the club owner is willing to pay for her. Man, I would not do that, bruh. You're just giving in to the buffoonery. This is absolutely insane. And then you got men out here with the bullhorn. These dudes are super beta male simps. When are we going to hold ourselves to a standard? And if this is how this woman acted, I wonder what she was teaching her kids, how she was teaching her kids to respond to getting kicked out of a venue. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Shalonda's family and friends protesting outside of the club saying, shut it down.
This community wants this club to be closed down.
While they're demanding answers, Benita doesn't know how she will raise her grandkids without their mother.
For my grandbaby to come up to me and ask me, Granny, is my mom in the sky? That took a lot out of me. And I want justice for my baby, please. Oh my God, just justice. That's all I ask.
In Dallas, I'm Malini Basu.
Documents explain why Dallas police arrested one of two security guards involved in a shooting outside a strip club over the weekend. A woman leaving the club ran her car into a group of guards. Two guards opened fire. One killed her. That guard was not arrested, but another guard who fired faces now 3 charges. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live with more details.
She cold.
Are investigating. Heather, Dallas police are investigating a Facebook Live recorded by Shalonda Anderson as she was being kicked out of the club. Minutes later, 2 security officers fired their weapons, and tonight Dallas police say one of them opened fire without justification.
Tuesday, Dallas police released new details surrounding the moment a security guard shot and killed 32-year-old Shalonda Anderson outside Ecstasy Cabaret over the weekend. The strip club released a 3-second surveillance clip and a statement saying Anderson drove her car into a group of security guards who were trying to stop her shortly after Anderson and others were kicked out. According to the club's management, Anderson hit a 26-year-old female security guard. The club says the female guard was pinned between Anderson's car and another vehicle when she fired her weapon, killing Anderson. A second security guard, 30-year-old Sterling Hammett, now faces 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in connection to Anderson's shooting death. An arrest affidavit released.
So the one who killed her is not going to be charged, but the guy who fired the extra shots is going to be charged with aggravated assault. I mean, I guess, and then that's where the family is going to focus on. They're not saying that her death wasn't justified. They're saying that they're blaming the club for one, which makes no sense. Makes no sense. It's your daughter's fault. It's Shalonda's fault. Okay? Was it OD that the other officer fired shots? I don't know. Maybe he thought she was still driving. The whip was still moving. Foot was to the gas pedal. Who knows? And he might beat those charges, but I mean, you gotta draw the line somewhere.
Tuesday says Hammett shot at Anderson's vehicle as she attempted to drive away from the shooting, striking the vehicle multiple times. Police say Hammett fired his pistol without justification. According to investigators, Anderson stopped her car and tried to run, but her injuries were too serious. Anderson was transported to a hospital.
Wow, so she tried to run afterwards, so she did that on purpose. What is wrong with it? I mean, that's a self-deletion move. Like, what do you think is going to happen when you try and hit security officers that are armed? Jeez.
Where she died.
You ain't got to touch me. Come on. No, you don't have to touch me. Don't touch me. Don't.
Dallas police.
Yep, there you have it. That attitude, and then the truth comes out. These sisters, y'all need to check yourself. Yes, they're going to touch you because when they ask you to leave, you don't want to leave, so you're going to be escorted out. Okay? All this, oh, you can't touch me. I'm a lady. No, you're not a lady because ladies don't act like that. Ladies don't act like that. The attitude, the jaw jacking, like, nah. Okay? You cause this situation on yourself. The club don't owe you nothing. The city don't owe you nothing. The security guards don't owe you nothing. But of course, they're going to get a payout. Of course, their GoFundMe is going crazy. Of course, they're going to race bait and all that kind of stuff. But you are out of order. Our women are out of order and out of line in the community. These super single mother gremlins are on demon time. And why not just leave? I mean, your kids are at home. You got 3 kids. Why are you in the club? Sisters, come get your kids.
Police are now investigating this Facebook Live Anderson posted during a confrontation inside the club. In the video, Hammett and other security guards are seen escorting the group out when Anderson claims the guards put their hands on her and her friends.
That's my child that I.
Who cares? That's what happens when you get kicked out of the club. You lucky they ain't do you like Jazzy Jeff, right? And throw your behind out. You lucky they walked you out. Like a lady. They held your arm. They held your hand.
I birthed into this world.
That woman is evil. She's evil, man.
And I have to speak.
Tuesday, Anderson's family, along with their attorney, called for the club to be shut down at a press conference put on by a Dallas activist group. Representatives for the family presented a different account from the parking lot. Cell phone video taken from a passenger inside Anderson's vehicle. As Anderson puts the car in drive, shots are fired and the passengers scream. The video was played in front of her family. Police would not comment if detectives have seen this specific video or if it's part of the investigation. Dallas police did interview Hammett before he was booked into the Dallas County Jail. Hammett says he shot at Anderson to prevent her from striking others in the parking lot. But when police asked Hammett if he saw any other individuals in Anderson's path, Hammett stated he did not.
And new information tonight, the female security guard who was hit is now out of the hospital. She had multiple broken bones. And now it will be up to a grand jury.
It could have been worse too, man. Could have been worse.
To decide if this female security guard will face any charges for Anderson's death.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video. All right, guys. So we are going to be discussing the Jayland Walker situation today. I'm going to give you guys a little background on what happened. But the police, they shot this young super gremlin while he was fleeing them. They're making a big deal out of it. So I just wanted to kind of clear things up and get, bring the community to reality, because like I said, we can't be held accountable. Nobody can hold us accountable except our own. And it's a shame that we have to go through and debunk all the nonsense that's going out through the media, but they're trying to paint this kid like he was just innocent and he ain't do no wrong and he wasn't on demon time, when that's actually the opposite. So let's get into how the media is portraying him, and then let's get into what actually happened, guys. Okay. So let's go.
Walker's senior class picture. His attorney wants you to get to know the man Jayland was, a beloved son, brother, and nephew.
This is not a monster. This is not a man who ever caught a crime in his life.
Akron police shot and killed Walker overnight Monday. Police say Walker refused to stop for traffic and equipment violations, and that officers heard gunshots from Walker's car as they chased him, but didn't see a weapon.
He was shot for a traffic violation.
So that's not actually why he was shot. Like you heard, the officers already said that they had heard him shoot shots out of the car. And just because he didn't have any priors doesn't mean he wasn't on demon time. The reality of the situation is Most likely he was getting into some shit. I do want to let it be known that this dude was definitely wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask while he was doing all this nut shit. So I just don't understand. You know, we have so many black men who are out here saying, oh, the police are out here killing us and doing all this kind of stuff. And even if we comply, they still shoot. And that's just not the case, man. You got a dude. He makes a traffic violation. He was probably involved in some bad shit. So he runs. The reason why he runs is not because he's scared of police. The reason why he runs is because he knows that he was caught doing something he wasn't supposed to do.
We're here to find out how, we're here to find out why, and here to hold those accountable.
Attorney Ken Abarno says 8 Akron officers will need to answer questions. The attorneys don't know how many of the officers fired their weapons Monday, but tell News 5 the makeup of the 8 are 7 white officers and 1 black officer.
What's unfortunate and what we've heard here so far is portraying Jayland as the reason this happened.
He absolutely is the reason why this happened. See, this is what I don't like about the community and, you know, just about these leftists. Nobody is holding these individuals accountable. Bro, you cannot think that you finna fucking run from the police, strapped up, shoot out the window, and then like everything's gonna be sweet when they arrest you. For one, the way that he even did the shit was dumb as fuck. Okay, everything that he did, all of his actions that led up to him being shot was dumb as hell. Okay, and that's what we're gonna break down.
That's spin.
Justice for Jayland! Outside the Justice Center, anger at police. More than a dozen protesters lashed out at officers, even blocked traffic, calling for those involved in the shooting to be fired. They want
So watch, you see the protesters. It looks like they have a sign that says abolish the police. So we'll see how long this rhetoric lasts.
Transparency and to see what the body camera shows.
Even without seeing it, there is nothing that I could ever fathom that could warrant that many.
So you heard, she said even without seeing it. So her fat ass doesn't even want to see the tape. She's just like, oh, there's no way that, you know, a guy should be shot 60 times. And look, 60 is excessive, but like I said, when they get to shooting on your ass and they think that you're actually a threat, you got one officer to shoot, then the other's gonna shoot because that gunfire sparks a reaction. Okay. And they ended up seizing fire after they lit his ass up. But he was on some bullshit, man. He was on some shenanigans, and we're gonna show that. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $10 super trap. He said, I think about the football player that downed the black community and show love to the police, but was then shot by them breaking up a fight. They drag him on SM. Do you worry about this could be you? Hold on, what? I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Bullets being riddled in someone's body unless you are in an active war zone.
Walker's attorneys and his family not only want accountability, but to uphold Jayland's dignity.
We love Jayland. He was my skinny little nephew. And we miss him. And we just want some answers.
Attorney Bobby DiCello says Jayland worked as a DoorDasher and has no criminal record.
So he was doing DoorDash. And if you are doing DoorDash, you're in a vehicle very often. You're driving a lot. I can definitely understand being strapped doing DoorDash because it is a dangerous job. All right. But the fleeing from the police part and shooting out the window is where I draw the line.
Never offended or bothered a soul.
So they said he never offended or bothered a soul. Okay, so we have protests going on in Akron, but I do want to give you guys a little bit more background on what's going on. I just don't get how people keep making the same damn mistake over and over and over again. Okay? It makes no damn sense. So let's get into this video.
Why did this happen? And in such a manner, such a terrible, terrible way. That's why.
Jayland Walker's sister, Jada, and mother, Pamela, seeking answers to the early Monday morning police shooting of their son, whose only encounter with police before that was a speeding ticket.
I'm sick as a mother that it came to that. If they would have spent 5 minutes with him, it would never have ended that way.
My thing is, they did find him with a Pooh Shiesty mask on. Bro, what the hell are you doing with a Pooh Shiesty mask, dog? Driving with a Pooh Shiesty mask is crazy.
Police say they tried to stop Walker for a traffic violation on East Talmadge Road, but he sped away. Police radio to dispatch they heard shots fired from his car.
Okay, so speeding away from the police is very dangerous. They're trying to pull you over. Bro, just stop. Just stop. What do you have to hide? Once I see them blue lights behind me, dog, I'm pulling over. It makes no sense.
A few minutes into the chase, Walker slowed his car on Wilbeth Road near the Bridgestone tire offices. He jumped out and ran, a gun later found in his abandoned vehicle. 8 police officers surrounded Walker in a parking lot and fired more than 90 rounds after Walker, according to police, made a threatening move.
Now, they did light his ass up. They did light his ass up, which is wild. Okay, 90 shots. But like I said, once the first officer shoots, everybody else is going to shoot. They're taught to unload the clip. Okay? Because he presented a threat by turning around. Now, if I was him, and let's just go through the thought process. If I was him, or if I were him and I was getting pulled over, and say I was scared to get pulled over, so I speed off. I'm speeding. Basically, he did a rollout. He didn't even park the car. He put it in neutral. The car's still rolling. He jumps out the car. If I was going to do something like that, and I'm going to surrender after this high-speed chase, I'm jumping on the ground, putting my hands behind my back, straight up. I'm not running, then trying to turn around. Okay, I surrendered. No. That shit is retarded. It's dark as hell outside. There's so many different factors going on. Everybody's pissed that you've taken them on this high-speed chase. And for the life of me, I just don't get it. These dudes will continue to get their ass in the same situation over and over and over again. Like, what are you taking the police on this high speed chase? Is that something that's on your bucket list, bruh? If you're doing DoorDash, why are you going on a high speed chase?
Walker suffered 60 wounds, according to an autopsy report. Several shots were fired after he was on the ground, sources tell 3 News.
Different parts of the videos capture officers trying to deploy their tasers unsuccessfully, and then the public's going to see officers discharging their firearm. As the pursuit goes on, other officers that are responding.
Okay, shout out to Cyrus Cherry. He says he put $10 on the super trap. He says, I'm sorry, his name was Jonathan Price. He downed the black community. He was shot by the police breaking up a fight. He got clowned on social media. It's like people were so glad that happened to him. Well, I mean, if you think that I'm downing the black community by talking about things that need to be spoken about, then that's the problem right there. Okay? Because if nobody can talk about what the fuck is going on in the community, where young girls, young men slaughtered every day in the streets, killed by other black men, okay, DV situations. If nobody can talk about this, then who can? I think I vaguely remember the Jonathan Price situation. And no, I'm not worried about it, because I know that in all actuality, I'm speaking from a truth perspective. I don't give a fuck what people say about me after I'm gone. And also, I'm not dumb enough to try and break up a fight between 2 niggas. That just doesn't make any fucking sense, right? It just doesn't make any damn sense. I'm not going to like, what? Them niggas fighting? I'm getting the fuck out because I know gunshots are following shortly thereafter. I'm gone.
Know that a firearm was discharged, and they believe during this pursuit that the officers had been fired upon.
The shooting drew a small protest outside the City of Akron Police Department.
Why would y'all do this? That's all I want to know. That's all we want to know.
And also, here we go. The black female activists, they think that they can yell at the situation and fix it. Like, y'all don't know what the fuck went down. Y'all don't know what type of shit that he was up to. And everybody's coming to bruh's defense. And I'm sitting here like, bro, he did everything the wrong way. He did everything the wrong way. That's just the reality of the situation. Now we can talk about, oh, the police shouldn't have shot him. They should have shot him in the leg. They shouldn't have shot him that many times. When you are driving a vehicle at very high speeds, you shoot outside of the vehicle. And then when you get out to flee, you make a sudden movement running, and then you suddenly turn around. I guarantee if he would have kept running and didn't turn around, they wouldn't have shot him. Or if he would have jumped out the car and just immediately landed on his stomach and put his hands behind his back, he probably would have got his ass beat. He probably would have got his ass kicked. Maybe, okay? Maybe not. But the way that he did this was all bad. Now, should the cops be held accountable for his death? I don't know. We'll see.
That's all we want to know.
Concerns the shooting might spark larger unrest led to the cancellation of the city's Rib, White, and Blue Festival, a July 4th celebration set to begin tomorrow. The Walker family's attorney, Robert DiCello, said the video captured by police will answer critical questions.
The video is going to tell most of the story. There have been some allegations that are very serious on both sides of this case that the video should have ready and able to be seen. So we applaud the chief for making those available to us, and we plan on seeing that very soon.
Mark Namick, 3 News.
All right. So you heard that. I'm going to get a little bit more before I show you the guys what happened in the video. We're going to get a little bit more. But I will open up the stream once we get through a little bit more of this. Oh, man. Like I said, I just do not get why these niggas just keep making the same mistake over and over again. Okay? It really makes no sense. You would have thought that we would have known better than to be running from the police. You getting pulled over for something minor, but that makes me think, yo, there might have been something major that he had going on in that car. So here are some here's some footage from the protest.
We are done dying. We are done dying.
We are done dying, they're chanting. Lord have mercy. This is the reality of the situation. We're not done dying. We just started. These niggas are not letting up. The foot is on our necks from our people. That's the reality. The foot is on our necks from our people. Nobody has anything to say. There are no protests when we continue to do this to ourselves. I have countless videos on my YouTube channel, Black Gen Z Mindset and BGZM News 17, where we're taking each other out at 100 miles per hour. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $20 super trap. He says, I suppose I shouldn't have stated it the way I did. I'm sure most of us been burned by the community. I just worry because it seems the people that call this out have people praying they fall in a public manner. That's why I ditch YouTube. You know, I didn't take any offense.
Oh, say like
I didn't take any offense to your comment. I just wanted some clarification. I get what you're saying. Oh, you know, everybody, like the perception would be, oh, you're talking down about black people. No, I'm actually showing what the fuck is going on, and nobody else is willing to show it. Okay, and when you have situations like this where the police, obviously 60 shots, they tow his ass up. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. But when you have situations like this, these people try and act like this is happening every day. And you have guys who make dumb decisions every day and they're taken in peacefully. Sometimes they shouldn't be taken in peacefully, as you've seen from some stories that I've done on my channel. But they are. Okay? But the moment there is a mistake made, which you could argue that there wasn't a mistake made in this situation, it just depends on what position that you're arguing from. They're out here protesting. They won't turn in the killers in their community, but they'll damn sure turn in these police officers that they think are so bad. Then they'll chant defund the police. And then when their cousin get killed, or their sister get killed, or their grandma get killed, or their mama get killed, then they talking about where were the police? Why the police ain't show up? We called the police 30 minutes ago. Remember we did that story where the sister was dealing with that thug, and then she had the restraining order on him, but she was still chilling with him. And then the 911 responder, which was a black woman, said, well, I mean, what's the point of getting the paperwork on them if you just gonna keep on seeing them? Remember that shit? Yeah. This is the same thing. This is the same thing.
We are done dying. We are done dying. We are done dying. We are done dying. We are done dying.
I mean, it's obvious that these people don't know what the fuck is going on in their own backyard. Let's see if we can get a little bit more information on this situation. Y'all got the gist of it. Y'all got the gist of it. We're going to get into the video very soon. We're going to get into the video very soon. Oh, man. But I think this guy was definitely in the wrong. Okay. I don't understand why you're doing all this extra shit. Why you're fleeing from the police. Like going on a high-speed chase. It's like these niggas got a death wish, bro. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, man. All right. Let's get it.
New information now in the deadly police shooting of Jayland Walker in Akron. It's a case now getting national attention, and it's also brought protesters to the streets this week. Akron police shot Walker early Monday morning after they say he refused to pull over for a traffic violation. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us at 5. I'm Courtney Gooseman.
I'm Mike Brookbank in for DeLon tonight. Now, Today News 5 was given access to autopsy records in the case. And though Ohio law prohibits journalists from taking notes, News 5 investigator Tara Morgan did review the records. We want to warn you, the details are graphic.
I was able to view preliminary autopsy records for Jayland Walker. I couldn't take notes or any photographs. What I can tell you, the pictures of Walker's body are disturbing. New pictures of Jayland Walker and his family, a striking difference from images I viewed at the Summit County Medical Examiner's Office. Autopsy photos with more than 60 markers indicating defects on Walker's body that look to be gunshot wounds. The preliminary autopsy documents show multiple wounds to his face, abdomen, and upper legs. Closer examination of the thumbnail-sized photos appear to show Walker took a bullet under the left eye and below his chin. I also counted dozens of pictures of bullet fragments. The records revealed Walker was found on his back on pavement in handcuffs. Police shot and killed Walker in this parking lot, less than 100 feet from the road. His car actually hit this church, and medical examiner records show a gun was found inside the car.
So he, like I said, he kind of did a rolling stop and hopped out of the car, then ran. Dude, like I said, what the fuck are you doing? We continue to say, oh, well, if you do this, the police will do this to you. and I have to teach my son how to interact with the police. I saw this video earlier where this black woman was arguing with this glider, and she was like, do you have to teach your son how to interact with the police? And da-da-da. It's like they're saying that they're teaching their sons how to interact with the police, and then you see the results of that, and it's nothing what they say that they're doing, right? They're saying they're teaching them how to interact with the police, hands on 10 and 2, and they did everything right, and they still got shot. That's not what happens, bro. It's just not. Remember, we had to break down the Patrick Leolia situation, and that man was fighting with the police for like damn 10 minutes. Shout out to Cootie Go Crazy with the $4.99 super trap. He says, at the airport going back to Chicago, wishing me luck, LOL. Shout out BGZM News 17.
Hold on. Yeah. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
You already know Cootie Go Crazy is outside if he's going back to Chicago. Pay attention.
I wondered how it got in here without hitting trees and getting right into this spot, but and I just assumed that someone was in it when it hit the church.
Police say Walker jumped out of his car and ran as it slowed down during a chase that started after midnight Monday when two officers tried to pull Walker over for a traffic and equipment violation north of downtown Akron. BCI, which is leading the investigation, returned to the scene Friday where police shot Walker. Police said actions by Walker were perceived as a deadly threat, but have not explained what those actions were.
So when you shoot outside of a vehicle, then you hop out of the vehicle to run, they're assuming that you still have that weapon in your hand. So when you do an abrupt turn, just like Adam Toledo learned, that's not a good idea.
An investigator appeared to walk a grid at times with a metal detector and placed markers. The deadline is fast approaching for police to release body camera video. The Akron police chief met with Walker's family Thursday afternoon.
Akron police and the city will hold a news conference on Sunday when the public will be able to view the body camera footage. In Akron, I'm News 5 investigator Tara Morgan.
All right, guys. So we did get a tweet out of King James. So I did want to show you guys that and the response that he's getting on Twitter. He said, I pray for my city today. And then somebody said, of course, you have to try and make this about you like everything else.
You good? The fuck wrong with you? You good?
And he used a KP. They said, man, please, you good? You making it about you? Please, haters gonna hate. Praying has reached its limit. Now it's time to take action. You and other so-called celebrities love the limelight when everything is excellent and money is coming in. How about all of you use the so-called power of being famous and shake the world and stand for human rights? You mean like Kaepernick, Beyonce, Stevie Wonder, Denzel, Okay, so he's naming people off. So interesting Twitter's response to it. I just wanted to show you that he didn't say you're next this time. Right? But now we're gonna listen to the clergy, the local clergymen, what they got to say, which they're not gonna hold this guy accountable either. But then we're going to listen to what the police have to say, and then we're gonna watch the video.
But there are some intangible things that only professionals are able to dissect and make an assessment. No, your eyes aren't going to play tricks on you. Yes, it's going to be challenging. But even through it all, two wrongs don't make a right. We don't fight either.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Two wrongs don't make a right. Okay? So even though we have a super gremlin on demon time, catching him and shooting him doesn't make it right. And I'm not saying it made it right, but I'm saying you get what you ask for. Every action has a reaction. If you're out here doing stupid shit, all right, trying to be a thug, trying to be a hood nigga, like I said, he had the Pooh Shiesty mask on. There's no reason why you're wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask driving. And a lot of these niggas who are doing DoorDash, the family did say he was doing DoorDash, and I kind of took it at face value. But there are some niggas who are doing DoorDash and they hitting licks. Like, yo, let me drop some food off. Okay, this looked like a nice house. Let me pull back up and hit a lick. Maybe he was doing that. Who knows?
Evil with evil. We pray, we fight, good will overcome. And so when you see these videos, still understand that these police had to make a job, they had a job, they had to make a decision split second, and they are human. And sometimes in our humanity, we err.
So it kind of sounds like he's actually being rational, okay? It kind of sounds like he's actually being rational. Shout out to Cootie Go Crazy with the $9.99 super trap. He says, this for the old shows that I watched. Keep it going.
Oh, say less.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, bro.
And this could be. That's what our concern is. Our concern is, why didn't the tasers work? Our concern is, why so many shots? Our concern is, why every officer have to shoot? We're just asking the general questions that's not from a professional standpoint, but just the general person would ask. And that's what we want to know. We want the truth to come out. We don't want any camouflage. And should it be that something and those guys did something wrong, now we want them to be held accountable for that which they done.
So he wants the cops to be held accountable. Let's go ahead and get into what happened. Let's see. Are we gonna watch this whole thing? Let's go through it. I know where the timestamp is anyway, so let's just go ahead and okay. All right, here we go. Let's just go ahead and get into it. In
this space, we ask that you please be mindful of that. They will be immediately available outside to answer any questions at the conclusion of the press conference. My name is Michael Miller. I am the Public Information Officer for the Akron Police Department. I'd like to give you a quick run through of how the press conference will go. We'll be hearing from 3 speakers today: Akron Mayor Dan Horgan, Deputy Mayor of Intergovernmental Affairs Margot Somerville, and Akron Police Chief Stephen Milet. After hearing from these speakers, you will see 2 videos. I'll say up front at the start of the second video, for approximately 30 seconds, you'll hear no audio. And that's because the device itself, when you activate it, it goes back 30 seconds. It captures no sound, but it picks up the recording 30 seconds before the incident or the recording. The first video will be narrated video of the incident, starting with the pursuit. It will include some still shots. It will pause at points, and it will include some text.
I don't know what the fuck happened to the audio right here. Let's see.
2 members that will contain or include a map of the pursuit, a timeline of the incident, a transcript of the dispatch conversation during the pursuit, and basic information on the officers involved, including race, gender, years of service, and disciplinary record, if any. At the conclusion of the press conference, we'll be putting out a press release as well, and all body cam footage will be available.
Yeah, guys, the audio on this is a little shoddy, so let's just fast forward to when they're giving a whole bunch of prefaces, but I do want you guys to know the whole sequence of events. So let's
Both
see.
be mindful of how we respond. Since I just arrived here in Ohio 10 months ago, there may be questions that you ask that I will defer to our city's chief prosecutor, Mr. Craig Morgan, or Deputy Police Chief Brian Harding. At this time, we're going to play the first video, which Lieutenant Miller described to you. We hope this video will provide further context and details to the incident. Lieutenant Miller.
Here we go. Okay.
On Monday, June 27, 2022, at 12:30 in the morning, Akron police officers attempted to stop a silver Buick on East Talmadge Avenue near Thayer Street. Officers informed dispatch.
So it's 12:30 a.m. Very dark and scary times, okay? Midnight. You try to stop the guy. He keeps on going.
That the reason for the stop was for a traffic violation as well as an equipment violation. The driver of the vehicle refused to stop, and officers initiated a vehicle pursuit as the vehicle was nearing the East Talmadge Avenue entrance ramp to Route 8 southbound. Approximately 40 seconds after the driver of the vehicle fled from the attempted stop, a sound consistent with a gunshot can be heard on the body-worn cameras of the officers. Officers notified dispatch that a shot came out of the suspect's car door.
So y'all heard that. A shot came out of his car door. And if it wasn't for him shooting outside of the car door, I guarantee they would have approached him way differently. Okay? Him shooting out of his car door is almost like, yo, I'm trying to shoot it out with the cops. I mean, it's not even almost like it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, you're getting chased by the police, and then you shoot outside of the car door. If he wouldn't have done that, then he could have been, you know, approached way differently. But then, you know, once you shoot outside the car door, it's OV, bro. They pulling up, guns drawn on your behind.
On to 8 south of Talmadge. Reason for stop was traffic and equipment violation. 21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
At the time of the sound, a flash of light can be seen along the driver's side of the suspect vehicle.
Okay, y'all seen it. Flashing light coming out of the driver's side. The boy shot at the officers. I don't know what the purpose of doing that was, if he thought he was going to hit some. But he was involved in some shady shit. I don't know what. Okay, so the officer's right behind him. And he blammed on his ass. He upped that shit.
The vehicle pursuit continued on the expressway for several minutes, and the suspect vehicle exited onto the Archwood Avenue ramp. The pursuit proceeded through several city streets until he neared the intersection of East Wilbeth Road and Claremont Street. At that point, the driver slowed down and exited through the passenger side door of the moving vehicle wearing a ski mask.
Wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask. Pooh Shiesty mask. Pooh Shiesty mask. Pooh Shiesty mask. Shout out to Cyrus Cherry with the $10 super trap. He says every part of his body was shot by name. Then they said other places. Guess below the belt was blown off too. At this rate, we will be a super minority in 20 years, ignoring real problems, rage, addiction.
Oh, shit, like
Yeah, I mean, but I just want to point out, there's no way that the cops can compete with what we are doing to each other. And this, in my opinion, was definitely much suicide by cops vibes, if anything. Okay? Because why would you shoot at the police when they're behind you trying to pull you over for a minor traffic stop? What the fuck did you just do that make, like, he probably thought he was getting chased for a whole, excuse me, he thought he was getting chased for a whole nother reason. That's what I'm concluding. Like, they were pulling him for a minor traffic stop, and he's thinking he's getting chased for whatever the fuck he was doing before he was getting pulled over by the police. So there we go. You see the Pooh Shiesty mask right there. What a damn shame. What a damn shame. And they're trying to paint the picture that this dude was just a saint. He's just a saint, but he's hopping out of the vehicle. For one, he's hopping out of the passenger side of the vehicle. Is that they said that right? Yeah. So he gets out of the driver's side and then hops into the passenger side, then hops out with his Pooh Shiesty mask on. Okay. That just makes you look even more guilty. That just makes you look even more guilty. You know, how do you expect the cops to react after this shit, bro? Honestly. And I told you guys, anybody who's wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask in 90-degree weather, and I know it's probably cooler since it's 12:30, okay? But it's still 80 degrees outside. I could understand if it was fucking mid-December, you're going through a damn blizzard. But these dudes are wearing Pooh Shiesty mask, and it's 105 degrees outside. How does that make sense? Especially in a scenario like this where you're thinking quickly on your feet. How the fuck does that make sense? You're trying to protect your own life. He jumps out of a moving vehicle, which could be interpreted as another deadly weapon. Like, come on. Then you don't know if he got shit on him. Then he got the puffer jacket. Like, dude, it's 80 degrees. He got the puffy jacket. And we're supposed to believe that all he was doing was door dashing. Oh, okay.
The suspect fled from the vehicle on foot, turning and facing officers momentarily. He continued to run, evading arrest. Officers attempted to safely take the suspect into custody by deploying their tasers.
So you see, niggas gonna be, why didn't they tase him? Why didn't they just tase him? The shit didn't work. Tried to shoot the taser, didn't work. Tasers don't work on super gremlins, bruh. We seen it with Rashard Brooks. It doesn't fucking work. Okay? Who knows if he was under the influence too? You're definitely not gonna feel that.
The deployment of tasers was unsuccessful and the suspect continued to flee on foot. As the foot chase reached the nearby parking lot, the suspect stopped and quickly turned towards the pursuing officers.
Wow. Looks like I can't tell if he's reaching in his pocket or doing some shit.
Officers reacted by discharging their firearms, striking the suspect. Under visual inspection of the suspect's vehicle, a handgun, a loaded magazine for a handgun, and what appears to be a gold wedding ring were observed in plain view on the driver's seat.
So this is my guesstimation on what happened. I don't know if this brother was married or about to get married, but it sounds like he just hit a lick on somebody, pulled up to him with the strap, told them take everything they had off, got their wedding ring. You know, obviously he's carrying a little bit of guilt, not guilt in the fact that he's sorry for what he does, but guilt in the fact that, yo, I'm hot right now. I just did something. I just robbed somebody. They might be on to me. And then when he gets pulled over or about to get pulled over, then he flees because he just robbed somebody of their damn wedding ring. So he keeps it moving. And he thinks that, oh man, maybe they, put out they called the police and then put out say, hey, this guy robbed me in this car, whatever. He's hot right now. So he flees from the police. That's the only way that I'm like thinking that, yo, okay, that's the reason why you're gonna run and do a high-speed chase from the police. Shout out to Show Sugino with the $5 super trap. Appreciate that.
Oh, say less.
So there goes the strap. He got the loaded mag, and then there is the ring right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is right beside the trigger. Oh, man. So did he hit a lick on somebody for their wedding ring? Is that what happened? Okay. Oh, that's it?
We will now show you the body-worn camera footage.
Okay, we gonna get the full video. Let's get it.
From the officer who was first involved in the pursuit. The video will start at the beginning of the pursuit and will end with the shooting of Mr. Jayland Walker. I want to offer caution for everyone that is watching that this video may be disturbing to some viewers.
Shout out to Show Sugino with another $5 super trap. He says, great job, Gen Z. And shout out to YouTube channel BGZM News 17. Yes, guys, make sure you go follow my other YouTube channel, BGZM News 17. There is no commentary there. It's just straight news clips from the community by the community.
Oh, say less.
Viewers, to many viewers, as it contains graphic images and language. For many reasons, it is difficult to watch. At the request of the Walker family, we have blurred Mr. Walker's body in the shooting event. Lieutenant?
Okay, here we go. All right, so obviously there's no sound in the beginning of these clips, oftentimes. Let's see if we can.
East on Talmadge, approaching Route 8 South, signal go 8 South. Speeds are 30. Getting on to 8 South on Talmadge. Reason for stop is traffic. 24 east on Talmadge, approaching Route 8 South, signaling to go 8 South. Speeds are 30. Getting on to 8 South from Talmadge. Reason for stop is traffic. Equipment violation.
So reason for stop is a simple traffic violation. And obviously he doesn't know this. He's feeling more guilty. So he's thinking, oh shit, they got me for what I just did. See, that's the problem here. That's the problem here. It's like all these circumstances leaded up to this moment. And to me, you know, if he did rob somebody for their wedding ring, if that is the scenario, don't clip this and be like, oh, well, you're just extrapolating. No, that's what I think. If that's the scenario, then it is instant karma. It's instant karma, right? Because if somebody just put the strap to your face and then robbed you for your wedding ring, and then they get killed instantly afterwards, you would probably be like, huh, he deserved it. But since you don't know anything about the situation, and it just sounds like, oh, a young black man, unarmed, got shot 60 times. Well, technically, yes, he was unarmed when he got shot, but he wasn't unarmed when he was in the vehicle or when he was shooting at the police while he was in the vehicle. And they could have made a plausible assumption that he was still armed when fleeing the vehicle and when turning around and making a gesture that, you know, presented a threat.
21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door. We're southbound on Route 8 now. Next cross going to be Perkins, going across the Blue Bridge on Route 8 South. Speeds of 80, middle lane.
Gold Buick, black male driver, one occupant.
Silver Buick, one occupant. Look like a black male driver. He's in the left lane going 60.
And I'll tell you what right now, man, these motherfuckers are tired of y'all black asses, man. They tired of y'all shit. Like coming out here and defending motherfuckers who are indefensible. This one, with this shooting right here, it's hard to defend. It's very hard to defend, especially knowing what he had in the car and what type of time he was on. Running from the police, fleeing from the police. But the fact that we got sisters and brothers out here protesting and, you know, no justice, no peace, and stop killing us, we done dying, and all this type of bullshit, still holding up Black Lives Matter signs, it just illegitimizes everything that we have been fighting for decades, okay? The civil rights leaders of the past would look at us and be laughing right now. Because what rights are you really fighting for at this point? What we need to be fighting for is the right to make smart decisions. And that is something that comes from within. That is something that comes from parenting. There's no way that I'm finna take these police. If I think that the police are homicidal maniacs, there's no way I'm taking these motherfuckers on a high-speed chase. You can even hear this cop's voice. He's like, suspects going 60, young black male. Like, he's tired of y'all shit. You can hear it in the tone of his voice. You can tell he see this shit every day. Every day.
We're okay with the notes. The driver appeared to have been grabbing something, and a shot came out through his door.
He's definitely shot
out just passing Perkins. 8 South passing Perkins, middle lane, speeds are 72, light traffic. 8 South passing exit 1A. Speed 77, no traffic at this point.
Car 1 on secondary.
We're 8 South towards 77 South, passing exit 0, just past University. It's middle lane, speeds are 70. Now it's in the right lane, speeds are 70, light traffic, vehicles are getting over. Continuing 8 South, speeds are 78, light traffic. Vehicles about 100 yards in front of us. Continuing.
So you see he's speeding up. He going 78 miles per hour now. And these are the these are the situations that get the city council to come together and say, well, we need to stop police chases like they're doing in Chicago, like they did in Atlanta a couple years ago. We need to stop these police chases so it'll stop ending in young black men getting their lives taken. No, we need to stop these niggas from doing foolish things. We need to stop the foolishness. We need to stop the evil in the community. Dude, if you are out here driving, you getting pulled over and you shoot out the window, it's end of discussion, bro. It's on. It's on. It don't make no sense.
77 South, just past the interchange.
Car 4 requesting to join. I have 3 units in front of me. 46 car 4, go ahead. Everybody else, start blocking intersection. Get to get off. Good position.
Yeah, units up there that are coming up on Lovers Lane. He's coming up on your left side just now. Take caution. He was grabbing for a gun. He did fire a shot out the side of the door.
So you heard him. He was grabbing for a gun and he fired a shot outside the door. Now it's on.
Who is that there?
All right, 24. We got 2 units in front of us.
Car 20, we're primary behind it now. We're continuing off Route 8 south. Speed are getting off here. We're going to be getting off at the Archwood exit. Speeds are 65 miles per hour. First, the red light at Archwood. He's going to be going through the red light, continuing southbound, approaching North Firestone. Speeds are 35 miles per hour. Running the stop sign, he's going to be going westbound.
Shout out to Shay's Turtle Hotbox Gang. She says, trank guns over stun guns. YouTube salty on BGZ.
Oh, Shay like
That's facts. I actually like that. That's actually a really good idea. Tranquilizer guns. I mean, that would stop all the shit. Really. But then motherfuckers will get shot with tranquilizer. Oh, they tranquilized me. They roofied me. The police, they date raped me. You'll hear the community with signs, stop police date raping. Oh, man. You can't win for losing.
On North Firestone Boulevard from here. He's going to go southbound on Neptune. Speed are 30 miles per hour. There's no traffic on this road. Running the stop sign at Reed. He's going westbound on Reed from here. Yeah, watch out for each other. Down the intersection.
Southbound Oakwood.
Southbound on Oakwood. Speeds are 15 miles per hour. Approaching Cypress. Going to be going westbound on Cypress, heading towards Redwood. We're passing Redwood. We're going to be approaching Brown Street. 46 on Brown Cypress, block intersection.
You got it. Go.
Southbound Brown. We're returning westbound on Wilbus. Speeds are approximately 25 miles
Hey, he whipping that bitch.
per hour. Still westbound on westbound.
Guys, make sure you like the video. Hit the super trap, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App. Let's get it.
Wilbus, we're passing Glen Mount. Speeds are 55 miles per hour. .602 on west on Wilbus and Firestone. Drag it in. We're still westbound on Wilbus. We're passing Evergreen. We're heading towards Maine. Looks like we have some units up ahead at the intersection of Maine. He's slowing down here, slowing down.
Here we go. So they're telling his goofy ass not to move. Put your hands up. This is where following directions is key. And we all know that these niggas cannot follow directions. That is one of the biggest flaws in the community. We don't follow directions. He said, put your hands up and stop moving. What are you supposed to do then? You put the car in park. You put your hands the fuck up and you stop moving. Too many things going on right now. You're just asking to get shot up. Shout out to Wag the Dog. He said, or Wag the Dog. He says, my boy whipping that thing like his GTA. Salute to you and act. Follow your boy on Twitter, the Houston Astro.
Oh, Shay like
So you see, he didn't want to stop because he knew he was cornered through the driver's door. So he hops out of the passenger door. So he wasn't planning on stopping, and he thought he was gonna be able to get away somehow. I have no clue. So once he started running, some officers, went to put their guns in their holsters. Now he's running, trying to do his little zigzag to get away. It's not going to work. Damn. So they lit his ass up. Looked like he tried to turn around and it was OV. Sheesh. So you heard that? God damn. Yo, I mean, I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. These fools, you up to no good. You got the Pooh Shiesty mask on. If you didn't want to get, I guarantee if he would have took the Pooh Shiesty mask on, it would have helped his case. Or if he would have took the Pooh Shiesty mask off, it would have helped his case. Maybe he would have looked less threatening. But they let it go on his behind. Yeah, damn. So there you have it.
I can ask our community members to please stand with me for just 1 second. Chief, there's no doubt it's shocking and hard to take in. But what we are collectively calling for is peace this afternoon. It's the same thing Mr. Walker's family is calling for, and it's the ask of everyone standing here with me in the community.
Well, I mean, you hear what they said, no justice, no peace.
Peace for our city, peace for our community, and peace for our residents. Thank you. Thank you.
I understand the public's demand for information now. I understand that. I have questions that I want answered now. However, I echo the Walker's family's request for patience. We keep going back to the Walker family. They're requesting patience, peace, and to allow the process to run its course. Since Monday morning, information about this shooting has been disseminated through various outlets. I would encourage people to wait for BCI to conclude their investigation, submit their investigation to the Attorney General's office, and then the grand jury. The damage of spreading misinformation can cause irreparable harm. So before we receive BCI's final report, I would like to get some facts stated because I've seen a lot of misinformation circulated. As you've already heard, there were 8 officers who were directly involved in the shooting. All officers have been placed on paid administrative leave as per department policy, and which is routine when officers are involved in a deadly force situation. That's standard across the nation. We do not know the exact number of rounds that were fired. Again, this is something that BCI will discover in their examination of evidence.
Shout out to Javier versus Leonard. He says he turned around with the blicky and things got a little sticky. We outside.
Hold on. Hello? Where we at? Oh, you want to know where I'm at? We outside!
Javier knows exactly what a blicky is. He's definitely outside with the $5 super trap. Thank you, my brother.
However, based on the video, I anticipate that number to be high. A lot of rounds were fired. And I will not be surprised if the number at the end of the investigation is consistent with the number that has been circulating in the media. But right now, we just don't know. While BCI needs to confirm the number of times Mr. Walker was shot, the ME's report indicates over 60 wounds to Mr. Walker's body. However,
Yeah.
we're still working to determine entrance and exit wounds, and this investigation on their end will take time. It will take time for them to determine how many times Mr. Walker was actually shot. And that work to make that determination is the responsibility of the medical examiner. As you could see in the video, there was a gun recovered from Mr. Walker's vehicle. At the time of the shooting, he was unarmed. Lastly, after the shooting ends, Akron police officers went to Mr. Walker and diligently provided first aid to save his life.
So, you know, after they lit his ass up, they went to try and save his life. Obviously, you're not going to save a guy who just got shot 60 times.
One officer on a body cam footage can be heard saying he still has a pulse. As the officers were getting ready to put him into a police car.
And this is what I don't understand. We have people in the community listening to hip hop music. And one thing that stood out from Biggie, who, you know, one of the greatest rappers ever lived, he said, one false move and get Swiss cheesed up. Well, that's exactly what happened to Jayland Walker. He made one false, I mean, not even one false move, but a multitude of different, an amalgamation of different false moves that ended up getting him, in fact, Swiss cheesed up.
To get him as quickly as possible to the hospital, Akron fire medics arrived on scene. They took over aid, and unfortunately, Mr. Walker tragically passed at the scene. Okay, Lieutenant, I'm going to turn it over to you, and we'll start with Q&A.
All right, guys, so they are going to do a Q&A. We are going to get through this, but I do have the link in the chat if you want to join the stream. If you disagree that this shooting was unjustified, let me know. Ultimately, unfortunately, I think that it was justified because Jayland Walker has shot outside of the vehicle. Also, the way that he bailed from the car with the Pooh Shiesty mask on, it kind of shows that he was doing the wrong thing, obviously at the wrong time.
We're going to start by allowing each media outlet present to ask at least one question. We ask that you speak loudly so that your voice can not only be heard in this room, but also as part of the live stream that we're providing for the community. Understand again, and it's already been stated by the chief, that there are some questions that they cannot answer or may not answer because of the independent nature of the investigation, and also to preserve that the integrity of the investigation. Some questions may not be answered for that reason. So at this time, I'll open up for questions. I am going to move intentionally to my left to right. We're going to ask one question each, and then we're going to move to the room from left to right. Okay? We'll open it up at this time. Anybody? Sir?
Thank you, Lieutenant. Question for the police chief. At this point in time, Paul Sandoval at C9, based on what you've seen, chief, and understanding the investigation is almost less than a year old, after seeing this very upsetting video, what is it to you, or for you, what is the most concerning thing in the footage that you've seen so far?
It's the same thing that's most concerning to everybody else that just watched it. I'm going to say this.
Okay, so he asked him what was the most concerning thing. See, the most concerning thing to me is that we have young black men who think that they can evade police by taking them on a high-speed chase, okay, shoot a gun out the window, hop out the vehicle, and act like everything is just honky-dory, everything's sweet, and nothing's going to happen to you. We have a whole bunch of people in the community, for one, who just aren't thinking straight, if they're thinking at all, and just are trying to portray this hood, like, gangster persona, even when they're doing something like being a DoorDash guy, allegedly. And I mean, he might have been logged into the DoorDash app, or he might have been doing DoorDash, but at the end of the day, I don't think he was doing DoorDash at this moment. I really don't. So we got somebody on the stream, David Echelon. What do you have to say, David? What do you think about this shooting of the brother Jayland Walker?
I think he was innocent, to be honest.
You think he was innocent? Okay. Okay.
I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit. Nah, I don't think he's innocent.
Okay. So what do you think?
I think that nigga was just doing street shit and just fucked up. He didn't really know what he was doing. To be honest, like even when me personally, if you ever try to flee from the cops, like I want to stop while I'm fleeing from the cops. I'll just keep going. Like I don't know why he stopped. Like you stop and think nothing's gonna happen. Like they're most likely gonna shoot you, bro. Like I don't know what he was thinking about from that, but yeah, I think I think the cops did the right thing. They didn't really do anything wrong. They shoot him 60 times. He was looking like a threat. Like what do you expect him to look at you as?
Right. I mean, you got the Pooh Shiesty mask on, you shoot outside of your vehicle, take the cops on a high-speed chase, and then you think shit's gonna be sweet when they pull up on your ass. Nah, that's just not how it works.
Yeah, especially after you shoot, after the cops. Like, I've never heard of this is the first time I've seen black people protest after, in the case, it's shown that the guy he shot at the cops. Like that's like I don't know if you remember when Chief Keef tried to shoot at the cops, right?
Yes, I do remember that.
You remember that, right? Did people go protest for that nigga?
No, they didn't. But he also didn't get killed, so
he didn't get killed, right? So nobody protests for that. But so when somebody a black man gets killed from doing wrong, that's when you guys want to protest. I feel like black people are starting to spit in our faces with that type of shit, man. It's kind of annoying, to be honest.
Yeah, I do too. I think we're starting to look like the community that cried wolf, and it's not a good look. We do have Kareem in the stream, so if you want to put in a point, Kareem, what do you think about this tragic shooting of Jayland Walker?
I think he was in the wrong. And also, good evening, by the way. I appreciate you having me on your show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love your channel, man. I think he was wrong, and I think it's ridiculous that prior to this video I'm seeing now that you showed, the narrative was he was just this unarmed man,
right,
that was gunned down, and then they didn't even mention the traffic stop. They tried to say initially that he was gunned down at a peaceful protest,
right.
So it's like, what's the right story, man? All these fake, leftist media outlets, and it's just insane, man. Like I was saying, the only way I could see something happening like this and he was in the right, like they were saying, like just him being just targeted and being unarmed, it would have to be something outrageous, like somebody put a hit out on him and they paid the cops to do it. Or him having a weapon. I can't think of any other reason, and him having a weapon is not even the extreme example. The hitman example is the extreme one. So it's just insane, man.
Yeah, I think you'll have to do a lot of mental gymnastics to justify his actions. We got Johnny Reb in the building. What do you think about this shooting?
I only just learned about it, so I didn't catch the start of your stream. But you saw the news about Ak?
No, I didn't see the news. What happened?
He got suspended for a week, so he's going to be going live on Rumble tonight, 10:30.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll definitely look to tune into that. We got Cal TCB in the building. Cal, what do you think about this shooting? Do you think it was a justified shoot, or you think that the officers should have used some more discretion?
Well, from what I heard, can you hear me all right? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Well, from what I heard, having a gun, wearing a mask, jumping out your car, not even stopping it, not pulling over. I mean, the dude was basically asking for it. I know that might sound mean, but it's the facts.
Yeah.
I'm in UK, so guns are pretty much unheard of unless you're doing a terrorist attack, pretty much. But if you're in a country full of guns, you got a gun on you, you got a mask, you're speeding, you're not pulling over, you jump out your car in neutral, of course they're going to assume the gun's there. I don't know if they should have took 60 shots, but I mean, the fact you got shot dead isn't really too shocking. You got to comply, and you can't play games with your life because you're winning stupid prizes, just like you said.
Yep.
So I don't feel sorry for him. I mean, 60 shots, is that necessary or not? I don't know, but the outcome, nah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to happen.
Let me just explain like the rationale, but for the 60 shots, apparently there were 90 shots fired between 8 officers, 60 hit. They can't actually confirm that 60 hit, but there are 60 wounds. So they're still trying to determine entry wounds and exit wounds. But when you shoot at somebody and you think that they have a weapon, say the first cop shot the gun. Now all the other cops have to shoot too, because they don't know where the gunfire came from. The gunfire could have come from Jayland. So now they have to double down and shoot. Now all of them have to shoot. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like the Breonna Taylor situation where Kenneth Walker shot at the police and then they all returned fire. In 60 shots, I mean, y'all saw how quickly those 90 shots got off. You know, it happened within a couple of seconds. So it's very easy to let off 60 between 8 people.
Yeah, but the misinformation around Breonna Taylor, sorry, forgive me. I'll say this quickly, I'll let other people talk. But in the UK, the narrative is Breonna Taylor was asleep with her boyfriend and they just started shooting through the building. Oh my God, she was so innocent. But I mean, the boyfriend, he's on the, not the webcam, on the body cam footage saying Breonna shot, not he shot. But then you listen to police. But the narrative here is the police shot through the building, killed innocent people. If you say anything else, you're racist. That's pretty much, that's it, underlined.
Correct.
Did you see Ox coverage of Breonna Taylor? He did like a 12 or 14-part series.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whose?
Ock Nation? Ock Nation News?
No, I've not heard of this person. How do you spell that? Ock Nation? Because I'll drop him a sub.
Yeah, it's AK space NATION. That's my YouTube uncle.
Oh yeah. All right. Well,
I remember reading through the case, and like I know the boyfriend was using her address, a bunch of shit like that, using her address. So the cops went into her apartment thinking that it was the boyfriend was still there, the ex-boyfriend at least.
Right. The Glover brother.
Yeah. So
yeah. So let's get back through some of this police conference. Just in the meantime, mute up unless you're going to interject and say something.
Of course.
When an officer makes the most critical decision in his or her life as a police officer, doesn't matter where in the country this happens, when they make that most critical decision to point their firearm at another human being and pull the trigger, they've got to be ready to explain why they did what they did. They need to be able to articulate what specific threats they were facing. And that goes for every round that goes down the barrel of their gun. And they need to be held to account. Right now, as you pointed out, we're in the early stages of the investigation. The officers have not been able to provide a statement yet. I am reserving any sort of judgment until we hear from them. Just last night, I spoke with the union president, and he told me that the officers are fully cooperating with the investigation.
Chief, I have a question.
Thank you. Go ahead. Chief, the attorney for the family, Bobby DiCello, says that he spoke with you and you told him and you told members of the legal team and members of the family that based on your viewing of the video that you had not seen evidence that Jayland Walker did anything threatening that precipitated the gunfire. Your response to that?
So I've watched this video more times than I cared to, but I've watched it at least 40 times. When you see it in real time, it's very hard to distinguish what Mr. Walker is doing. In the still photos, there's a picture that appears to all of us that Mr. Walker is going down to his waist area. There is a photograph that appears Mr. Walker was turning towards the officer, and there is a picture that captures a forward motion of his arm.
Shout out to Johnny Gill with the $4.99 super trap. He said 4 people murdered yesterday alone here in Philly, not including the others today. No outrage. Energy will go to the cops.
Oh, say that.
At the crime scene, after the officers were involved in the shooting, they immediately get sequestered from one another and they are monitored. When the investigative team arrives, they do an individual walkthrough of the crime scene. Each officer, independent of each other, related that they felt that Mr. Walker had turned and was motioning and moving into a firing position. So again, BCI is going to do the investigation. I'm not prejudging it. And I'll leave it there.
Please.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to understand a little better the gunshot from the car. Was there a bullet wound that exited the car from the inside of a bullet hole?
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
The other part is, was the gun found with the magazine removed in the car?
Yes, the way in which that picture depicted where the gun was located and the way in the manner in which it was placed. Officers are approaching the car on their body-worn camera, and it's capturing it in as they are approaching. After the shot was fired, after the shooting occurred, we went back to the scene where we believe the shot was fired. A casing was discovered at that location.
So he actually did shoot out of the vehicle at the officers. I know that was something that people on social media were saying, oh, they're lying that he shot outside of the car. Maybe it was his headlight that flashed. You don't know. So now we have the reality. Shout out to TJ, the conservative. We got him in the building. What do you say about this shooting of Jayland Walker? Do you think it was justified, or you think the cops went OD?
What's up with you, man? You hear echo?
What's good? Nah, I don't hear an echo.
Man, it's pretty much the same thing, man. Like I tell everybody, man. Like I was just telling my son, for men, especially black men, son men, as we say, you just got to follow the 3 F's, man, when dealing with police. I have one small little solution that we can try. Don't fuss, don't fight, and you don't flee.
Yes.
Why? Because you're going to lose. That's why. And you want to make it home to the people who love you safe. We'll handle all the other business later. So now we have to do all the crying and explaining on how many times he got shot or why he got shot when we're not looking at the root of the problem. If you're a grown man and you're handling your business the right way and you're working, you're driving that Uber, why are you getting out running? Why are you getting out fussing? Why are you getting out fighting? This can we disrespect the laws of cause and effect sometimes, man. We make this whole big fuss of a lot of things that we can be solved easily. Just you have to understand what you put out there will come back, and some things what you put out there could cost you your life. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Why don't you think after all this time, why do you think that black men are still making the same mistake over and over again?
And I'm gonna tell you, man, from a son man that been in that position, something is going on that you don't want to. We hate taking an L, man.
Yeah.
We hate taking an L. I don't care if it's big. I don't care if it's small. We hate taking an L. And so it could be something simple as a nickel bag in the damn glove compartment. It could be something just as small as, a damn ticket you didn't pay for parking raw crazy. The lights come on. I can't take an L. But I'm not understanding that this moment right now, when I run and flee, I could put my life in this situation. And that situation can cost me my life.
Facts. All right,
but man, keep grinding though, man. Doing your thing, man. I'm tuned in, man. I got you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you joining the stream.
All right.
I would say it's the lack of the critical thinking and being able to think forward of what's going to happen going forward.
Right, exactly. And guys, shout out to Johnny Reb. He said, "Hey guys, Ock Nation News has been suspended for a week. Catch him tonight, 10:30 on Rumble. I just subscribed to his Rumble account. So guys, I advise you to go subscribe as well if you want to catch those lives that he be doing. Y'all already know it's always a great conversation on that channel. So let's keep going into the video and break it down.
Consistent with the firearm that Mr. Walker had in his vehicle. BCI will determine whether or not that casing came from the gun or not. And again, independent of anything we did, the ODOT camera captures what we believe to be a muzzle flash coming out of the car. Again, BCI will be determining whether or not that in fact is the case. Right.
Chief, as far as the chase goes, and wondering if this could have been avoided at all, could you talk at all about the protocol of the chase and the point of the gunshot being fired? Does that cancel any opportunity to call this chase off because of the gunshot?
Thank you for that question. It's a great question. So the initial attempt to stop Mr. Walker, as you heard on the audio, was for an equipment violation and for a traffic violation. I'm not exactly sure what the equipment violation was or what the traffic violation was. We will find that out, or BCI will discover that during their investigation. What was going to be a routine traffic stop, which would probably result either in a warning or a citation being issued, turned into a pursuit.
Wow. So you heard what he said. Routine traffic stop turned into a pursuit. Meaning that if this dude would have just pulled over, it would have been routine. He would have got a ticket. He would have kept it moving. I mean, even if you do have something that you ain't supposed to have in that car, most likely you're not going to get searched. These officers, a lot of times, they don't want to go through all that bullshit. They don't want to go through all the paperwork. They want to say, hey, you made a traffic infraction here. If you're being respectful, if you ain't acting the fool, then most likely they will let your ass go. This is the problem with us. Like TJ, the conservative, said, niggas don't want to take that L. But what's a bigger L? You know, losing a couple hours, going through paperwork, having to pay a ticket, or losing your life. All right. What do you guys think?
Well, the thing they don't tell you about a ticket is if you go and contest it and you show up at the courthouse on time, you know, you have about a 50-50 chance the cop's not going to show up and gets dismissed.
Yep.
You don't even have to pay it necessarily.
That's true. That is very true.
But can we be honest here? I got a belief, man. It ain't even a belief. I believe this is a fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
The people that run are the people that have done something or they're planning to do something illegal.
Right.
So I'll give you an example, right? My sister, when she lived in the building, I'm from the South Bronx, right? So she lived in a housing, a NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority apartment, right? So what I used to do is I used to lock her door, and since she lived on the first floor, I would walk out the back staircase and I would put the key through the window. So one day the cops saw me putting the key in the window and they asked me, you know, what I was doing. And I said, oh, hey, how you doing, officers? I said, this is my sister. She's disabled. So I walk in, you know, I lock her door and I put the keys through the window.
Mm-hmm.
They said, okay, can you just call her? So I yelled through the window, Ashley. She said, huh? You know what happened right after that? The cop said, okay, thank you, sir. Have a good day. Nothing after that. She didn't have to come. They wanted her to come to the window, but once they heard her say, huh, They said, "All right, sir, thank you, because there's been some burglaries in the area, and we
Facts.
just wanted to make sure everything was good." I said, "Okay, thank you," and I went about my day. I didn't have any. I wasn't robbing the apartment. A person robbing the apartment would run.
Exactly. That was a great point.
I'll be honest too, because that's another thing. He gave the cop confirmation. Like I was I'll be honest. I do a lot of Sunman shit. I was a person who was doing a lot of Sunman shit. You know what I mean? Back in the day. So even when I was doing my shit, I was selling shit. And when a cop would approach me, because I remember a time I almost got robbed, and a couple of gliders see me getting robbed, and well, at least trying to get robbed, and they called the police, right?
Right.
So police came, and there's no snitching policy. So police came, and they see me walking away because I was selling shit, right? But I hid it from the guys who was trying to rob me. So police came and they tried to come arrest me, and the person who I was trying to sell it to. Now, I did not flee or try to go about it like, all right, these guys, I ain't doing nothing, so I'm gonna run away, because that's just stupid to me personally. That's just dumb. I just throw the shit away, right? I just throw the shit away and talk to the officer. Even though the officer still tried to, just see what's going on, he still put handcuffs on me because I'm from Toronto. Like in Toronto, the cops would still do that. Just what would they call it? Just almost like they have you on. They're just asking you questions, but they'll still arrest you. They're not saying you're under arrest, but they'll still put you in handcuffs. I forgot the term for it, but they'll detain you. Yeah, they'll detain you. Exactly, they'll detain you. So he'll detain me, but at the end of the day, he's gonna talk to you. If he sees he has nothing on you, they're gonna let you go. Right? They're gonna let you go. They're not gonna do nothing to you. Now after that, obviously I'm not doing that type of shit anymore, but I don't think cops are really out here trying to say they're only trying to get black people. They're not.
No.
They're not doing that shit, man. They're not doing that shit.
Yeah, the problem is we fucking up. We just fucking up, man. You're just making bad decisions, and this is the type of shit that it leads to.
Hey, can I just say something real quickly?
Go ahead.
Here in New York City, right? Over 90% of the violent crime is committed by blacks and Hispanics, right? When we look nationwide, black people are 10 to 13% of the population. Yet we commit over half the homicides and 48% of the violent crime.
Right.
So how can we get mad? Yes. So now if people that look like you and I are committing these crimes, right? Some people will slip through the cracks. Some people will be stopped innocently. So it's like, how do you really even police that? Like with stop and frisk. How do you really police that? And there's gonna be a risk that you stop the wrong people sometimes.
Right.
But hey, people, this is the world we live in. People that look like you and I tend to be violent based off the data.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big internal issue. I think that people are trying to overlook it and not address it, and just, we haven't done anything wrong. They just out to get us. And it's like, no, bro. You got a dude who is shooting at the cops, taking on a high-speed chase, hops out of a rolling vehicle and thinks shit's sweet when he turning around, making a gesture like he pulling something out of his britches. He might have just been pulling his pants up. This is another reason why y'all niggas need to stop sagging your damn pants, because when you're trying to pull your pants up, it look like you're reaching for something in your damn waistband.
As Mr. Walker turned onto the entrance ramp to Route 8 and the shot is fired, that changes the nature of the contact. 40 seconds after the initiation of the traffic stop, a half a mile from the location of the traffic stop, you hear the gunshot, and then everything else that I've just discovered. And again, that changes the whole nature of the traffic stop. It went from being a routine traffic stop to now a public safety issue.
Yep.
And then the pursuit continued.
Chief, have the officers involved viewed any of the video before they made their statements?
They have not given statements yet, to my knowledge. And again, that part of my answer is us walling ourselves off from the investigation, and that will be determined by the Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Sir.
Chief, the initial officers on that approach to the car deployed tasers. Can we read into that? Does that mean they didn't see it as a lethal threat? What were they seeing that they chose to grab a taser versus their firearm?
I don't know. I'm not going to respond to that because it would be speculation. The officers will be given an opportunity to explain their actions.
And I think the reason why they grabbed the taser first is because they was trying to give the little nigga a chance, bruh. They really were. He got tased. It didn't work. So they put the taser up, point blank. The taser was extending grace. That's what that was. That's all it was.
Sir.
Yes, Chief, in sort of 2012 in Cleveland, they had a sort of famous incident where 137 shots were fired into a car of unarmed people after a chase, and it received a lot of publicity. I'm curious if that incident, 137 shots into unarmed people which killed them in that incident, if that changed policies at all, either in the Akron department or other departments around the country.
So when that shooting occurred, I wasn't here in Akron.
Right.
I just got here last August. And, you know, I'm trying to go back in memory. I can't recall exactly what we did as a profession following that, but I can tell you that we train in this police department. We go above and beyond in the police academy, the minimum required hours of training when it comes to firearms. Additionally, we go above and beyond the minimum requirement by the state for annual qualifications. And so I really can't answer fully that question. Yeah.
This question kind of dovetails with that. Is there any kind of rubric or protocol when multiple officers are firing for how many rounds you fire when there's a single subject?
So officers are trained to, when they perceive a threat to themselves or to somebody else, that they are authorized to use their firearm to stop the threat. And they are authorized to use their firearm until that threat no longer exists or it stops. And that is the standard.
Young man in the back.
Chief, you mentioned several body cam videos, but is there also dash cam footage? And does any video cover the moment of actually attempting to pull them over?
So we don't have dash cameras in our fleet. No, sir.
And
What was your second question?
Does any video record the actual moment where they attempted to pull them over for the alleged traffic infraction?
So again, everything that you saw right now is from body camera footage. We don't have dash cameras in it, and I'm not going to step into that part of the investigation. I will look to BCI to collect all that evidence. Sir.
You said you had.
Hang on 1 second. Go ahead, sir.
Chief, have you ever had a case where over someone under the waiting room behind? I'm not asking you to speculate on this case, but have you ever had that happen before? And if so, why? And secondly, just your gut feeling when you saw this video, if it was as many as 90 shots as has been reported, and I know you can confirm that, did that strike you as excessive?
I will say this, that it was difficult to watch and shocking, just like it is for everybody. I'm not passing judgment on the decisions my officers made. They will be given the opportunity to explain why they did what they did, as they should.
All right, guys. So I think we pretty much covered every angle of this. It's a very sticky situation. Unfortunately, I think that this brother Jayland here, he was dead wrong. He was doing way too much, and it ended up costing him his life. The Pooh Shiesty mask is pretty much a dead giveaway that he was a super gremlin on demon time. And it just, oh man, it's just wild how you have the people in the community out here acting a damn fool. trying to defend the actions of this dude. So with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the stream right here. I do want to remind you guys before we get out of here that I have another channel. I have another channel called BGZM News 17, where we cover stories like this, stories like these, and there is no commentary. So it's straight news cuts, news edits, and news stories. Here is the channel right here, guys. If you support Black Gen Z, then you will support BGZM News 17. We also have the BGZM News 17 Instagram and the Black Gen Z Mindset Instagram as well. So you can go and show your support there. Also, we have the merch. We've got the merch, guys. So we do have the merch in. It is the last link in the description box below. So make sure you go ahead and get your merch there from the merch store. We have had a few people go ahead and buy those BGZM News 17 t-shirts, and I really appreciate everybody for doing that. So make sure you sub to the BGZM News 17 channel. We're trying to get it to 1,000 subs. Once we get it to 1,000 subs, we will be rocking and rolling. I also go live on this channel, as you can see. So that's where you can keep up with more stories that I can't cover, because I can't cover everything, but I try and get to everything that I can. But you know, it's impossible to cover it all. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody who joined the stream today. Just want to give it up to my guests. Any last words before we get up out of here? And we'll start with David, then we'll go Kareem, then we'll go TJ the Conservative. So what are your thoughts, guys? Final thoughts, David? Going once? Going twice? And David, just I guess he hopped off the stream. Kareem, any final thoughts?
Yeah, first and foremost, again, thanks for having me on the show, man. Great content as always.
Yes, sir.
You know, just like the brother said earlier about Philly, man, same thing. It's the same thing in these liberal inner cities, man. Here in the Bronx, you had someone shot right in front of the precinct, broad daylight. An hour later, someone else killed over, you know. So I know it's probably going to be like 50, 60 something shootings by the end of the weekend, you know. And like, if you have nothing to hide, don't run, man. But like I said, people that usually have something to hide, or they're engaged in criminal activity, or they're leaving a crime scene, those are the people that usually run or, you know, let off rounds. And come on, man, there's more of them than you. You'll lose every time.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. No problem. No problem. Appreciate you joining the stream there, brother. TJ the Conservative. Last thoughts?
Yeah, my bad.
Good.
Man, but just keep up the good work, man. Appreciate having me on, you know. But just want to tell everybody, before you step out of your house, before you make any move, especially a son, man, you ask yourself, is what I'm about to do productive or non-productive? And if it's a non-productive move, you then ask yourself, can I handle the cause of this effect that may occur?
Yes.
If you can live with those things, we don't have a problem. Just remember that.
Yeah, guys, if you're doing dirt out here, man, hey, stand 10 toes on that shit. It looked like Jayland was standing 10 toes, honestly. It looked like he stood 10 toes, and this is the outcome that he asked for. Unfortunately, his family may not agree, but in my opinion, his actions led to the outcomes that he got. And, you know, by him shooting out of the car vehicle and taking the police on a high-speed chase, ditching the car in a rolling fashion with a Pooh Shiesty mask on, to me, the evidence stacks up to he knew what the fuck time he was on, and he was the super gremlin on demon time. So I appreciate you, TJ, the Conservative, for giving your output. We'd love to have you anytime I go live.
I got you, man.
Yes, sir, brother.
Easy.
Stay safe. All right, guys. So that is it for the stream. Like I said, guys, make sure you go and check out the BGZM News 17 news channel. I hope to see you guys there. We're trying to get it to 1,000 subs. Right now, we got 188 subs. So make sure you go check that one out. This one was a doozy. The community is punching the air and protesting in Akron as we speak. We had our honorary athlete activist speak on it in LeBron James, and he had something to say about it. But he, you know, I think he spoke prematurely, didn't have the facts, doesn't really understand what's going on, and can't really empathize with the actions or the shenanigans of a lot of these super gremlins out here in the community. I wish that these guys would come and watch my channel, but you know, YouTube probably has an algorithm going a whole nother way that will never reach the eyes of the people who really need to see this. Shout out to Shay's Turtle Hotbox Gang with another 199 super trap. She says, mad respect to BGZ, always opening peeps' eyes.
Oh, say less.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that super trap. And with that being said, guys, we're going to go out ahead and get up out of here. We're going to let Jen Quavius take us away. Like I said, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you guys can join the Discord. We do have the Discord link in the bio, so you can send me more videos. I actually have my Rumble set up as well, and I have the Odyssey. I have a whole bunch of different backup channels for you guys to go join. And somebody did let me know that my BitChute link was not working, so I will update that as soon as I can. But I will throw the Rumble link in the chat because, you know, we have to diversify on multiple different platforms in order to stay alive in these YouTube internet streets due to the amount of censorship that is coming down hard on specifically Black content creators who are speaking truth to power and power to truth. So, guys, you already know what it is, man. We are going to give it to Jen Quavius to take us away. Peace, guys. Love.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured, but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jen Quavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dogs. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo,
Whoa.
ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit on.
That's that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jen
Hey,
Quavius
jump
Jackson,
on that
here
nigga,
live,
man.
reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.